Well, hello everyone. My name is Rick Passek, FlyFish Fanatic, and welcome to my tying bench. Today we will be doing a little kind of a searching pattern, but it's geared towards the Damsel fly. So it's kind of like a Cary special, but not really. But you'll see. Really cool little pattern. I love these searching style patterns. The Brits. This one's out of Great Britain. A style out of Great Britain. I just love how they tie over there because it doesn't limit you to being, that's a damsel fly. This could be a damsel, it could be a dragon, this could be a leech, this could be a caddis, it could be so many different things. So it is tied this one is tied on a fairly large hook. I usually tie this one in a 12 and a 14, 12 probably being my average, but this is on a 10. And the reason is my feather supply is a little lacking for this one. So I don't have any really small feathers for this, but it's irrelevant. I tie these in a 10, 12, 14, but 12 being my average. This is just some light olive thread, wax thread. And then I'm just going to take some Mallard flank, barred olive, in olive bar. So I'll tie this in 3 different color, well, 4 actually different color, actually 5 now that I think about it. Different color schemes. I'll tie it in olive, light olive, tan, brown, and chartreuse. So quite a few different color schemes. So I'm going to take about 8 or 10 of the off of the Mallard flank, take it off of the center stem, and then I'm going to offer it up. I want it about as long as the body there past, so about there past. I'm going to put it there, and then I'm just going to do a pinching wrap, and that'll set it where I want it. I'm just going to double check. That's about right. So, and then I'm just going to bring this forward in open turns, trying to keep that on top, just leaving about that much space at the front, about 2 hook eyes, give or take. And I'm just going to come back, making sure that's all tied down nice. And then I'm going to go like I do with almost all my tails, behind it and over it at least once. So, okay. Now I'm going to take my wax my thread just to make sure. And then what I've done is I've taken the Hens number 16 and number 4 of the hard dubbing. So let's see if I can point my fingers. These 2 here that are sticking out, the hard dubbing, and I've made a bit of a mix. So I'll take about 1/3 of the darker and 2/3 of the more olivey color. And then I just lay it on top of each other, and I'm just kind of pulling it apart and stacking it, and pulling it apart and stacking it. Now you could do this in a coffee grinder, but if you're doing large amounts, great. But so, and it depends on what I'm tying, which pattern I'm tying, which color. This is just one. That mix is one I know works very well in my area, on the lakes that I tend to go fish. So I want to keep this fairly thin, the body. I don't want it, damsel flies are fairly dainty. Now, if you wanted to turn this into a dragon, absolutely you can. I would shorten that tail up, make it really stubby, the tail, and I'd make this body at least twice as thick, and I would taper it to be more bulbous out towards the front. Just a tiny bit more right there. It just helps build a little bump spot for the hackle. Right there. That's good. Okay, leaving a couple of hook eyes there. Okay. Now, if I wanted to, I could brush that out, but I'm not going to. I want it buggy, which it is, but I don't want it overly buggy. I don't want it like crazy. So then I'm going to take some of this dyed green India cock cape. Right, so just taking one feather. I'm going to go about a quarter away up the feather here and just strip this back. Give or take. Yep, there we go. That should be. So again, just bust that spine lightly. Don't break it. Just kind of softening it up, and then just be careful. One, couple of turns here. That's it. Come back into it, almost, not quite, just right up against it. Stroke everything back, including that stem that you're not going to use. Just go over it just a bit, and come back forward, and then let's get that stem piece. Just cut that out. Actually, I'm going to grab my little. These are the newish scissors from Renomed. These are the Stinger, super sharp point, really small little point. So, okay, just make sure that's stroked back a bit. Then my ring neck spay, and I'm going to grab like one of these, not quite the marabou-y ones here, but just below it, these really soft hackle ones. I've already grabbed a couple just to see. I'll go with the slightly longer one. Yeah, this one here. I grabbed a couple before I started just in case, depending on which dry fly hackle I used, right? So I'm just going to set this up on the side again, just like the last one. Actually, I'm going to wax my thread first. Always wax your thread with any kind of hackles for sure, right? Anything that's semi-slippery, and I mean, having these stems, counterclockwise spin, so it goes into it just like that. Any of these stems can be quite slippery. And a lot of times I'll just bend that over, and that'll really lock it in, right? And all I have to do is get that little stem, cut that out. Yeah, like I said, these are the new, sorry, that way. Where are you? The new stingers from Renomed. They're great little fly tying scissors. Their whole line of fly tying scissors are awesome, but these ones they're great for those little getting into those tiny tight spots. Especially if I found I use them a lot when I'm tying flies with hackle. So a couple, 2 to 3 turns, depending on the feather again. This one I'm going to give it one more. And get in there and tie that off. Stroke it all back, everything, and go back over top of it. Building up a nice little neat head. Whip finish it. And then I'll go and grab that extra piece of hackle that was left that I don't need. And I'll go and put a dab of Sally Hansen's on there. Now let's go find that little extra stem piece right there. It is. Because otherwise it makes it too thick. Now sometimes I'll leave it in. If it doesn't make it too thick, I'll leave that little stem piece in. But in this case, it's making it too thick. So again, I can just nip it off. And there's my finished little damsel. So it's a damsel / Cary / a searching pattern, right? So it's a little bit of everything. I'm just going to make this more centered. So it can be a lot of different things. When this slicks back, this pulsates. It just pulsates, right? These fibers pulsate. That's why you want to try to. Like I said, I use these feathers up in here that are nice and soft, right? See how soft those are? If I would use more like this type of feather, right? It wouldn't pulsate as much, right? So you want to get into that, almost that, like if you go up into here, they're very marabou-y. They're really, really soft and marabou-y. Not quite that, because then it'll slick back too much and it won't release and pop and pulsate, right? So that's why I picked the ones I pick, which are, like I said, a little bit more. They're kind of soft, like they're soft, but they're not this fluffy marabou yet. So, alrighty. Hope you guys enjoyed that one. It's like I said, simple little pattern. I love tying these kind of flies, and I love fishing these kind of flies, and purely because they can be so many different insects, which is kind of a philosophy of mine. Why might as well fish multiple insects if you can, right? So yeah, there it is. Cool. If you subscribe, thank you. If you have not, please consider doing so. This probably is post my 4,000 subscribers, but I will be doing a giveaway very, very shortly for my 4,000 subscriber giveaway. So very shortly. So just pay attention for that video coming up. It'll say right on it, 4,000 subscriber giveaway, and you'll have to make a comment and be subscribed and so on and so forth to be eligible to win. Haven't made up my mind what the prize will be, but probably some flies tied by me and maybe some materials or books or something. I'm not sure yet. We'll let you guys know. Alrighty? Alrighty. Again, tie lines, everybody. We'll see you on the next video.